Hello viewers, welcome to UN College virtual class. You are watching UN College digital class with Miss Visokalpita Mohanty, Head of the Department of Master in Social Work. In this lecture, we will discuss about gender. Learning area of my lecture, socio-cultural system, socio-cultural characteristics, concept of gender, definition and socio-cultural perspectives of gender. Before going to gender, we have to know that what is socio-cultural system, because gender is a socio-cultural concept. The term socio-cultural system embraces three concepts: society, culture and system. A culture is the learned behaviors that are shared by the members of a society together with the material products of such behaviors. The words society and culture are fused together to form the word socio-cultural. A system is a collection of parts which interact with each other to function as a whole. Socio-cultural is a framework that emphasizes on the responsibility of social and cultural context in human learning. It is based on social and cultural interaction. Then socio-cultural characteristics. In socio-cultural characteristics, there is four types of characteristics: gender, home environment, language and ethnic background. First, we will discuss about gender and concept of gender. Gender learner in her book The Creation of Patriarchy says that gender is the costume, a mask, a straitjacket in which men and women dance their unequal dance. It refers to culturally based expectations of the roles and behaviors of males and females. It refers to the socially constructed roles, behaviors, activities and attributes that a given society considers appropriate for men and women. Gender refers to the roles and responsibilities of men and women that are created in our families, our societies and cultures. Gender roles and expectations are learned. They change with time and are different in different societies and cultures. Then definition of gender. According to West and Zimmerman, gender is not something we are born with and not something we have, but something we do. It means gender based upon our activity, our behavior. What we have, this is not important. What we will do and what we are doing, this is important in gender. According to Butler, gender is something we perform. Butler said that gender depends upon our performance. What we are performing, from that society defines which gender we are, men and women. Then sociological perspectives on gender, gender roles, gender relations, gender identity, gender stereotyping, gender discrimination, gender equity and equality, gender stratification, gender socialization, patriarchy, masculinity and femininity, sexual division of labor, public-private dichotomy. First, we will discuss about gender roles. Gender roles can be defined as the social roles that a person is expected to fulfill based upon his or her gender. Specific roles and responsibilities are often conditioned by household structure, access to resources, specific impacts of the global economy and other locally relevant factors such as ecological conditions. It refers to the set of cultural expectations that define the ways in which the members of each sex should behave. Societies assign some classes of activities, some classes of roles and responsibilities of men individually and some classes of roles and responsibilities for women individually. For example, in society there is a role of men is they have to go to outside and earn money for his family maintenance. But in a family there is role of women is They have to take care of family members, take care of food and nutrition of family members, take care of health also. She can't go outside without permission of anyone. Then gender relations. Gender relations are the ways in which culture or society defines rights, responsibilities and the identities of men and women in relation to one another. Men and women respond to different situations and conditions differently. This is not because of their biological acquire distinct and diverse sets of knowledge and needs. In many societies across the globe, of differentiation is seen between the roles and relations of men and women. The socio-cultural norms of a society are instrumental in demarcating the gender relations. They indicate the way men and women relate to each other in a socio-cultural setting and subsequently lead to the display of gender-based power. This develops from the expected and gendered roles assumed by men and women and the impact of their interactions. A good example for this can be the family. In this setting, man assumes the provider and decision makers roles and woman takes up the familial and children roles. These power relations are based because the male has more power in making financially, legally and socially influential decisions. Roles, assumed attributes and socio-cultural norms lead to the design of behavioral blueprints. Analysis which focus on gender relations differ in emphasis from those which take gender roles as a starting point. They give more prominence to the connectedness of men's and women's lives and to the imbalances of power embedded in male and female relations. Gender identity. Gender identity refers to individual identity as it experienced with regard to an individual's identity as male or female, an awareness that normally begins in infancy and is reinforced during adolescence. It refers to the identity that an individual develops through the process of socialization. Gender identity guides and influences an individual's self-identity as well as individuality. Gender identity includes the condition of being female or male or the sex of the individual and identifying with these sexes in ways directed by society. Gender identities are the conceptions as being male and female. It is a self-concept of a person as being male or female. Gender identity is the most basic and far-reaching identity that a human being learns. This learning starts from around 15 months of age when a child learns that he or she is a boy or girl. Learning plays a key role in the acquisition of gender identities. There are a number of theories regarding how children learn to acquire a gender identity that is usually compatible with their biological sex. The theories are the psychoanalytic theory, social learning theory, social cognitive theory, cultural transmission theory and the leveling theory. From these theories, a person can know about their gender identity. Then next is gender stereotyping. Gender stereotypes are simplistic generalizations about the gender attributes, differences and the roles of individuals and groups. It also refers to categorizing certain behaviors as associated with a particular gender and to the widely held beliefs about characteristics that are considered appropriate for males and females. Some positive sides of gender stereotyping. Gender stereotyping provides a fixed model for defining and delegating roles to a gender group. It generates predictable behavior. It perpetuates the cultural practices that are institutionalized. It influences human behavior. It is learned and transmitted through the process of socialization. And there is some negative sides also. Gender stereotypes suppress a person's innate qualities, a person's willingness to do and capacity to do. Gender stereotypes are very difficult to change. Next is gender discrimination. Discrimination faced by a person because of their gender can be termed as gender discrimination. The unequal treatment of girls in society contributes towards hierarchies that exist at all levels. The discrimination has become part of the life cycle of a woman. These biases not only exist inside the homes and families, but also in public institutions and other parts of the social structure. In many countries, discrimination started from mother's womb. In many countries, discrimination started from mother's womb. Female fetuses are aborted for a high emphasis on giving birth to a male child, because this is a mindset of all people. Son will perform the rites after death, and also son will taking care in old age of parents. Girls can do. This is the mindset of low grade mentality people. Another important reason for discrimination is high rate of dowry. Parents are thinking that if a girl will born, then we have to give dowry at the time of marriage. This is also a fearness of parents. This is also a burden for parents to giving dowry at the time of marriage. And also discriminated against health and education. Parents often prefer educating their sons rather than daughters in the hope that the son will earn and support family in the future. Next is gender equity and equality. Gender equity means fairness of treatment for women and men according to their respective needs. This may include equal treatment or treatment that is different but fees is considered equivalent in terms of rights, benefits, obligations and opportunities. Gender equity depends upon needs of the person. It focuses on what are the needs of person. Then gender equality focuses on creating the same starting line for everyone. The principle of equal treatment tends to ignore the fact that people differ in their capacities, interests, resources and experiences. In gender equality, there is no importance on capacity of a person and responsibility and roles of a person. In gender equality, there is equal opportunities for each and every person. Don't depends upon need. Then gender stratification. Gender stratification refers to a society's unequal distribution of wealth, power and privileges between men and women. Society gives men more power and resources than women. Gender is an important dimension of social stratification. To a large extent, stratification on the basis of gender has resulted in gender inequality. Historically, stratification and inequality has been sustained both naturally and socially by assigning the role of economic providers to men and the role of child bearer and child rearer to women. Next is gender socialization. Gender socialization refers to the ways in which society ensures that children learn the appropriate behaviors associated with their being males and females. It begins right from the birth of a child, whether the child is a baby boy or a baby girl. Family plays an important role in gender socialization by providing typical toys, clothes and teaching various activities to girls and boys. Parents play a major role in gender socialization. Peer groups also influence gender socialization. Boys play cricket, hockey, basketball and other outdoor games, whereas girls play indoor games as well as with dolls in the peer group. Schools also have some impact on gender socialization. The attitude of teachers towards both the gender groups are different. The school sports introduced for both the boys and girls are also different. Boys and girls are also assigned different tasks by the schools during celebration of different festivals in the school premises. The role of media is not an exception. It too perpetuates the process of gender socialization. The advertisements and features also reflect gender expectations. The television serials also bring the differential expectations from males and females. There are several theories on gender socialization. One is psychoanalytic theory, psychological theories, sociological theories, symbolic interaction theory. In this class, this is all about what is socio-cultural system, different socio-cultural characteristics, and discussed about socio-cultural perspectives on gender, gender roles, gender relations, gender equity and equality, gender discrimination, gender stratification, gender socialization, and in next class we will discuss about other socio-cultural perspectives on gender. Thank you.